All right, welcome back to the Sarah J. Pitch Show with Gordon Waugh. And we have some exciting news today because my co-conspirator over here, or I'm her Robbie, she's the Batman, she's ahead of it all, the star of the show, the superstar, Miss Sarah J. She just launched her Put in Productivity Academy this week. That's the lifelong blood of what's going on. Now she has another book, and you can show it to us, Sarah, that from just these two books, right? It's only common sense to you, and which makes sense because now you have the Put in Productivity Method ecosystem going on
Yes.
with the academy and the results and everything else. Sarah, let me ask you this before we even get started. Reintroduce yourself. What we're going to be learning on this about the academy, the book, the common sense, and let's direct the viewers what's been going on because I missed the live, but I know she had some difficulties, but I got recaps from some of her guests, and she became a rock star overnight, guys. So don't let the laugh fool you. All right, Sarah, go ahead.
Yeah, so as you can tell, I am from the UK. My name is Sarah Pitts. I am an international best-selling author of Stop Doing It All. I am the creator of the Potent Productivity Method. Things are pretty much exploding. So I basically help solo business owners to get unstuck from the things that are holding them back. And the thing that I'm learning most about the why my stuff is resonating with people is because I'm using emotion to basically hack the process of business growth, personal development, productivity, all kind of rolled into one just by dealing with the emotions. Because what I realize is that people listen to words, but they forget them. So people, though, the emotions and the chemicals that it creates in your brain are actually addictive. So people will behave to huge extremes because of how they feel, right? So we chase feelings really hard, but we don't chase words. So, yeah, so things are kind of exploding at the moment in terms of what I'm able to release in products and things like that. So the Stop Doing It All book was the foundation of everything. I released that in May, and inside of there explains what the Potent Productivity Method is. It helps you to get rid of the overwhelm. It helps you to offload tasks and just get back to what you do love doing in your business. And then the idea came of doing a spin-off book series. So there's the 6 foundational pieces of the Potent Productivity Method. And I'm in the process of writing a book based on each of those 6 pieces. So I have 2 of them done right now. The new one is based on piece 3. They're not being done in order because they're being done in relation to the conversations that I've been having with people.
That's great.
Yeah, finding what makes you unique and what makes you different and what makes you stand out is really hard for a lot of solo business owners. And I've had that conversation quite a lot recently. And because it spins you back into that doubt. You know, you have imposter syndrome, you have, second guessing yourself all the time and constantly questioning, am I good enough? Is this worth it? Who's going to listen to me anyway? Until you deal with those emotions in a way that your confidence level just knock out all of that doubt, then it doesn't really matter what you feel like you should be doing or who's telling you which step to do next in your business. There'll come a point where you keep sabotaging yourself. You keep getting in your own way. You keep avoiding the thing that you know you need to do in order to grow your business. I did it for absolute years because I felt I have spent my whole life thinking or feeling like nobody's listening to me because my communication style is very, very different to my family and the people around me. And I didn't understand that was the case. So I just thought everybody's different to me. Nobody's listening to me. I'll just do whatever it is to fit in and life will be easy and everything will be happy. Except I wasn't very happy and it didn't hit me till about 2 years ago. It's like, okay, who am I? What am I doing? Why am I doing it? What's my purpose? So,
Yeah.
we all have a bit of an identity crisis occasionally. Maybe it's not quite the crash I had. I think the only way to get out of that is to deal with the things that stopped me, particularly putting myself out there and getting feedback from people I didn't know. And I found that really scary. So I had to create the steps that would allow me to do that. And I realized that emotional fulfillment was the thing that was missing. And as soon as I had that, you've seen it, everything's changed. You said, all of a sudden I'm a rock star overnight. I've always been a rock star, my friend.
Exactly. You've always been a rock star. You just didn't have the confidence and you put it in sense because you hit all the points that you said. If you self-sabotage yourself, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you feel like you're the imposter syndrome, that you think nobody's going to be listening to you, this is why made the courses. She made the books. All the ecosystem has been in there because she solved the problem for her own self, right? Because Sarah 1.0 didn't have the knowledge or the confidence, but once she started to get the flow, and if you're in this situation right now, please reach out. Please reach out because with the launch of our academy and everything else, I've been getting feedback from people, right? Because I've been reaching out, how did it go? If you're in a situation where you don't even believe in your product, your service, it's not the product, service, or the thing. It's something much, much deeper. It's not a mind shift. Mind shift is an external thing. Sarah goes deep with what she knows from it because of, I would say, maybe not validation, but finding that unique process that she has to work for you and your unique self. And that's what makes these things so special because you can go listen to all the gurus, you can go apply this up, you can do the rah-rah thing, it doesn't want to work. But when you go home, you stay on your computer, you have a blank screen and you don't have what's inside this that matches this. This is what all her product and service group coaching will do for you. I promise you that. I wouldn't be on this here with the Sarah J. Pitt business development on here putting my name on it if I didn't know, because what she says is true, is right. And the problem she solves, let me ask you this, Sarah. You just came out of training right before coming on with me. What's sticking out fresh to you that you're seeing with your clientele? Because without saying any names, this is going to be important because you want to make your people watching this. That's me. Please elaborate.
It's interesting that you say it's not validation because that's the thing that we were talking about today. So a lot of the time we don't believe, and this is the thing, we don't believe deep down that we are good enough, that we are as educated or as experienced as other people. We're comparing ourselves all the time.
Oh, that's a big one.
We have that imposter syndrome and we just don't believe that our little bit of experience is good enough, right? Because I deal a lot with people who are transitioning to a new period of their life. Maybe they had a career in something else and they transitioned to something new. Maybe they learned some leadership skills, maybe they learned some business skills, whatever it is. And they're trying to figure out where they fit. And they're like, I haven't got the experience in this new area to feel confident that I'm worth, that what I'm saying is worthy of doing this because I don't have the experience that everybody else has got or whatever. So what we did today, in answer to your question, is we looked at ways that you can believe in yourself because we went proof hunting.
Okay.
So that was the exercise today.
Yes.
Proof hunting to find those hurdles that you've overcome, those achievements that you have in your life, the struggles and how you overcame them. The thing that stood out to me the most is that I didn't have to say a thing about digging into trauma or visiting any of that stuff. It was literally, this is the question, you write it down. You don't have to share your life story with anybody. You don't have to say things that are painful. You don't have to spend the next 3 hours revisiting, reliving all of that thing. Because a lot of the time, these things are very painful.
True.
That when we're talking about emotion and we're talking about these things, that we're going to sit and contemplate a navel for the next hour and a half. But that's not true. because all it was a series of questions that got you thinking about your life. I never asked anybody to tell me what they found. It's all a very private thing, even though it's a group coaching. And we shared at the end what difference it had made to people. And the thing that stood out for most people was that they've forgotten most of the stuff they've achieved in their lives.
Oh, that's huge all the time, because even when you look at your past and you look at a lot of people, just like you said, it's common sense to you, but even your past, you don't give credit enough for what you've accomplished in all your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're too busy moving forwards, and we have
Correct.
to do that. Solo business owners, life moves too quick
Yeah.
for us to sit and revel in, oh, how aren't I amazing because I did this? Probably, but you don't have time to think.
So in your academy, you break down the nitty-gritty core because you want to give an emotional win to the people that might not think they're good enough, that they might not be able to move forward with this thing. Yeah, especially with what I tell a lot of people is like, okay, you look at any type of guru that you see out there that you follow, you are no different from the phases in life that they came over the hurdles. Yeah, life hits different, especially when you're doing these type of courses. And give me an example, like of some of the enlightenments that you had with some of your clients this past hour. Like, give me, because people want to know, is like, give me a situation. Like for one person might have did this, they said this, and they actually did something else, because we want to make it relatable. Because at the end of this, you want to have a chance to be on a wait list for what Sarah has to offer, because momentum, and you're going to find out how easy it is. It's going to actually change your life.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where this isn't just, one of the guys said to me, it's different listening to the training than it is doing the training. And we had time, I gave people time to answer the questions in the training. So this wasn't just a case of, oh, I'm going to teach you all of this and you're going to go away and do it yourself.
Yeah.
You answer the question, and then because it's once a week for 8 weeks, you have the rest of the week to sit with it and see what really resonates with you and really go deeper, if that's what you want to do, into your life and find the things that now you know what you're looking for. You have the time and the space to really think that through. And it was really interesting how people were changing how they thought about themselves.
Right there.
Yeah.
It's too much to me.
They weren't expecting that. You know,
No,
I've
I've never.
been through it, so I know.
Yes.
But to see it in other people was just a feeling that you just can't buy. It's that penny drop moment, that shift. And I've seen it so many times with people in physical pain, because obviously I was treating injuries for a long time, and people had injuries for decades and pain for decades. And then you take it away and it's like this weariness disappeared from their face. And I've got getting their voice back.
A relief.
You know?
That's relief.
Yeah. And it's the same with the mental strain of these emotions on our business.
Same thing.
When you see that shift, the relief that comes across people, and they're like, oh, I am better than I thought I was. I know I can
Very
use that experience, even though it was in a different area or whatever.
Very much so. Because a lot of times with business and stuff like that, it's all about reframing yourself, reframing your consciousness, reframing your emotions, so you see it through a different window, so you act accordingly, right? Even with business, like, this is why it's so, like, when you show somebody how and what's the potential, the potent productivity method can make it get to you. At the end of your course, you become that confident individual. You know that you can be. Even like with all my videos, it's all about, you are the key. You came out perfect. For some reason or another, you got swayed. It's time to get back up. And that's what Sarah's coaching out. Let me ask you this. Let's do a little drill here, right? If I'm a client, because you're going to show me how to do it, right? If I'm an introvert and I'm not having confidence, what would be some of the series of questions you have me write down? So we can have a brief glimpse, because I might be someone that's I've had this knowledge. I don't know what direction I want to go to. With what's going on in the world right now, I want to change. What would you tell me? Or how would you go about doing that?
Yeah, and I'm a huge introvert. I've never felt comfortable putting myself out there. You know this.
Except now.
Yeah. So I know this from my own experience, and I can't really say it from anybody else's experience because that's unique to them. But
True.
in the main, people who are reluctant to put themselves out there are, they don't have a community or a sense of belonging anywhere, right? They're not feeling that love and that sense of belonging in a group of people. They feel like they're on the outside. They feel like they're going to upset people if they, they're people pleasers. They're trying to fit in to a
Correct.
community that is not theirs. And the purpose of the training is to find that little corner of the market, of the planet, that you feel safe, you feel secure, and you feel like you belong. And until you find that, you're always going to feel nervous about putting yourself out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you speak from experience because it's different. This how I rate business and sales, closing, marketing, copy, all this good stuff that comes along with it, because it's going to come down to a few things. I can match it with how my kids behave, right? Kids and business are the same because people want the same things, right? They want attention, they want security, they want support, they want to know you're there to guide them. No matter all their flaws, all their things, they want to know that you're going to be there for them to guide, to provide knowledge, to do things. And instill that after that, you will have the confidence to let go. It's like many of us in business with our mentors and our circle and everything else. How many times we put on so many different hats? You get confused, shiny object, this and everything that's going to be going on, right? But ultimately, what you just want camaraderie, a brotherhood, a community to figure out that they'll be there. This is why it's all the same. Even for the big channels, they want your attention. They want your time. They want to do something with you. It's just finding like the right tribe, like you said, that's going to make it easier for you. How does explain between what happens in week 1 to week 8? Can you give us a breakdown of what you're providing and what's going to be the outcome when you start with you?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that I would say is that most business mentors, gurus, what do you want to call them, they say it all starts with you, right?
100%.
You've got, this, that, and the other, but nobody's teaching you how to find it.
Good angle.
That's what I'm teaching. That's what I'm helping you do, right? You don't know what makes you special, what makes you worthy of doing what you want to be doing. Nobody can take that away from you. It's what you want. You shouldn't have to justify that to anybody else. The point is, find it. So as we go through the 8 weeks, it's a step by step building on, first of all, finding what makes you worthy of teaching or helping other people. And then it's layering that.
Yeah. I was going to say, boom.
Yeah. So that is the cornerstone of everybody, right? If you don't feel worthy, it doesn't really matter what the next stage is, because you won't feel like you're worthy of doing it. And you'll just constantly create this cycle of, I'm not good enough. Everybody else is better than me. And, nobody's going to listen anyway. And all that kind of stuff. So that's why we do that first. We find that thing that makes you truly see how and why you are worthy of doing what you're doing or what you want to do. Then we layer it up with all the other emotions that go alongside that. So we find your worthiness, then, or validation, or whatever it is you want to call it. Then we find the place in the market that you belong. Like, you truly belong there, right? You love being there. You love talking to these people. You love learning from them. You love being around them. And you have stuff that they can learn from, right? It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
And too often, we try and find markets that we can teach to. but we don't use it as a way of supporting our emotional needs. When we find the community that is going to fulfill us first,
Ways.
yeah,
Ways.
then
Yep.
we can reciprocate.
Yep.
So then we find what it is about you that makes you unique. So we've talked about this before about making a cup of tea. The process of making a cup of tea is the same for everybody, but how you do it and what that end cup of tea looks like, where, if it's in the fancy china pot or if it's in just the builder's mug. Yeah, exactly. Then it's down to you and what you think and your personality and how you believe, your unique perspective on the whole world. And nobody else can see that except you. So when we find that and we layer it on top of the other two things, the confidence that people get from finding this, it's not even learning it, it's finding it.
It's grabbing it and holding on to it. Yes.
Yes. It's already inside you. It's already there. It's just knowing how to pull it out.
No, but that's fluff. It's like you're like this. Okay, you might be stuck in this, which you're like, yeah, you're telling me, but it's easy for you. It's easy for you to do it. But what about me?
And these solo business owners are a super capable bunch of people.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
So when somebody says to you, "What's your superpower?" You're like, "Well, I've got tons."
True, 100% true.
If I can turn my hand to most things and learn it and be reasonable at it, then how do I know what I'm really, truly supposed to be doing with my life?
Purpose. You have to find the purpose.
So when you find a purpose and you find what makes you unique and you find how you can stand out and how you can stop looking at people as competitors. I mean, it happened to me on Tuesday, right?
No way.
I was booked and I had been booked to be on this podcast for 2 months.
Okay.
Right? This lady found, we'd connected through Podmatch and I'd sent her a message and she messaged me back and we booked it and she said, "Oh yeah, you're a great fit, this, that and the other." And I was really looking forward to the conversation. And so, all over her website, there was like, be respectful of time, make sure you're on time and you've got all your texts sorted and all the rest of it. Turned up 10 minutes early and 10 minutes late.
No way.
She sent me a message through her assistant and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're not going to do the recording today because we don't interview competitors on our show."
That's a bad way of looking at anything because you don't know. That just bugged me.
Pissed me off. But
yeah.
What I realized at the end, though, was that that's on her. She's seeing me as a competitor, whereas I'm seeing her as a collaborator. Because I know my unique angle, I know what makes me different, and I know that nobody else has got the same exact viewpoint that I do. The more people I speak to, similar to me, teaching what I'm teaching, the more we can help each other, the more we can fill in each other's blind spots. But that's the difference between having real belief in what you're doing and who you are to not.
Let me ask you this. Do you think there's a badge of honor that she ranked you as a competitor, though? Because this is how you know when you're doing something right. And when you start ruffling feathers and the hate come out of the woodworks, this is when you know you're doing right for you.
I can see where you're coming from, but in terms of badge of honor, no.
Maybe misleading my word.
It's a compliment, and I would take it that way.
Okay.
Ultimately, she's just like me. We're all human. We're all suffering from these emotions. And it's to me that people do these things. Isn't it interesting how her fear drove that behavior? If she had belief in what she was doing, she had true confidence in who she is, that would never have happened.
Yeah, it's called emotional intelligence. Because this is what I talk on my show with Doc and my relationship coaches and stuff like that. Because it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. If you have the emotional intelligence to, like, say, have security in yourself, have confidence, to have trust, that's a personal issue. So now we're on week 4. week 1, you built everything. Week 2, you build everything up. Weeks 3 and 4, is this where you start building people up? Or is it one more
No, we
phase?
start building people up right from day one. So
You breaking them down in one to actually solidify what they know.
there's no emotion. Just be very clear. There's no emotional breaking of anybody on any.
No, grabbing their thing out of them through your questioning so that
Yeah.
you can actually put them on a pedestal to have the confidence to move forward in their endeavor.
Yes. So
Right.
that's what weeks 1 to 3 are about. Really,
Oh,
it's
nice.
finding the stuff inside of
Right.
needs to come out in order for your business to succeed. Week 4 is about creating cohesiveness in your business. So you're not feeling really scattered by 100 million different projects and things going wrong and all that kind of stuff. It's about creating, like you said, the ecosystem. It could be really confusing, the amount of products that I've come out with in the last few weeks, but they are all talking about the same thing. They're just variations on a theme, and they all tie back into each other. So it doesn't matter to me whether you buy a book or whether you buy a training or whether you get a shirt or whatever it is that helps you to move forwards with what you need to know. Great.
100% agree, because one book might hit differently at a different phase in life. The other chapter, you might be going through some things, you might have took some other training before, and it hits you different than it is, but it's the same things, 100%.
Yeah, and it's really interesting how lots of solo business owners create these different products and see them as totally separate entities.
But they're not.
Right, so they're marketing their book, or they're marketing a training, or they're marketing this, and because they're on slightly different subjects, they don't see how they fit together. And the secret is understanding how all of this stuff fits into your unique approach. Because when you do that, you could break it down into a bazillion different things,
Oh, yes.
all tying it back to that one thing.
Right.
And
At
so that's
week
what week 4 is about.
at week 4, how do you think your clients are feeling at this time?
I know for sure that they're going to be excited. I've been teaching this stuff one-to-one for a while now, so I know that the transformations that can happen. It's
Right.
just that this is the first time I've put it into a group training.
Correct.
Watching multiple people go through this at once, it's just amazing. So
And
I'm
it's
really excited for where they can go from where they are now, because I think once we're done with week 3, the rest of it is just on.
falls in place. Now everything is exposed because now. So guys, if you're watching this on a replay and you're at this point where it's timestamp work, you're overwhelmed, you're stuck in a business, you don't know where your purpose is, you don't know what direction you want to go to. Weeks 1, 2, and 3 will get that stuff out of you using the methodology that Sarah's created in the academy, in the Put in Productive Method, in the books. Everything is cohesive now, right? Because we're going to recap. We're going to make you feel like how some distressed person that's just don't know where to go to have a clear path. After week 4 and 5, 6, 7, and 8, like Sarah said, you're going to put these after boosters on to have the clarity, the emotional stability, the attention that you want, and you're going to find your niche that can make it work for you, not everybody else. You're not trying to fit into everybody else's world. You're trying to create, like Russell Brunson, you're trying to create your blue ocean, not be in the red ocean with all the sharks. You don't want to be with the sharks with some of the people we know.
Yeah, and some people teach picking a niche. Like, to me, it's the same as writing a few down on a board, closing my eyes and sticking a pin in one.
Exactly.
For me, and for the solo business owners that I work with, that just doesn't cut it, because we care too deeply. We really want people to succeed, and when we're just blindly choosing an audience like that, we're never going to feel like we are fulfilled as humans.
Well, plus you're trying to force information down somebody else's throat that might be in the phase of it all. Because even like for me, when I try to say I'm teaching kids or I'm teaching parents about situation wares or doing this other thing or using whatever else, is like the information is so much. Like, when you go to some seminars, you just got an fire hose of information. It's relevant, but you might be emotionally stable to get that because it's too overwhelming. With what you've created, the simplicity of it all, because you understand, because you've been there. Right? You've been there many times. And how Sarah is coming out is this, right? When you set that GPS coordinates to where you want to go, weeks 1 through 8 with her methodology, you will be able to drop that pin and be confident about yourself, with what you got going on in your business. You might start out overwhelmed, lost. That's a good word. Lost. Second guessing yourself. Hey, right? You should have a blueprint for who you are.
So you have a really clear business roadmap, and it's
yes,
not
direct
just,
line.
yeah, it's not just a plan, it's an actual map of where you want to go and how you're going to get there. For me, a business plan is so arbitrary, you may as well just pull numbers. But having an actual map,
Yeah.
you can choose, because it's your business.
It's your map.
Nobody else.
And
But as
that's
long as, where I come from, people say, how are you? And they go, oh, getting there. And I started saying to people, isn't it funny how we all say that, but nobody actually knows where there is?
is that the saying from over the pond? It's like getting where?
It's the same as saying I'm fine.
Yeah, surface.
You say I'm fine. It means you're not really great and you're not really bad. It's just plodding along. But yeah, so I'm getting there. It's not there, needs to be identified. But then we know whether we got there or not.
If you're in a situation where you think you're getting there emotionally in your business, financially, everything, but you want to be there, where you can have the roadmap, you can plug in your own GPS code, where you can have your list on a checklist, what you need to do both for yourself and your business. This is where Sarah's Academy comes in to join the wait list. It's so funny because when I talked to one of Sarah's clients, he goes, this is what they was working in the phase, and then they want to tie me in somehow. I'm like, well, you might not be ready for me yet, but this is great. You know why, Sarah? Because you take care this part, this inside part, right? And if you take care of that inside part, the rest comes easy. The rest really comes easy. You get confidence, self-esteem, put your chest up high. You start creating. You create in your business instead of stressing about your business.
Yeah. And actually delivering on that creativity, because you've got the brain space and the capability then of doing it, the confidence to just get on with it. It's interesting. I know who you're talking about. He said to me, I'm 70 years old. He said, I thought I'd heard and seen most things in business, but this is a unique angle that I've never heard before. He said he came to a training that I did last week, the one that went wrong with the Facebook Live. And he said to me that within the first couple of minutes, I drew him in and he wanted to know more about it. And to me, I'm really appreciative of that comment, because for me, if everybody's heard all of this before, then it is really difficult to come up with a unique angle unless it's super authentic to you. Right?
Yeah,
Because
it's unique to you. Yeah.
You are the expert in your own life. Nobody has lived that life except you.
And it's just such a breath of fresh air to have somebody that understands it, because most people don't understand it at all. And it pains me because I deal with kids, I deal with parents, I deal with at-risk youth, I deal with docs, I deal with clients. I just came from a meeting the other day from my financial advisor, because he wants me to create the workflow for them. But they have developers that said, Gordon, you just created. I'm like, but see, this is because of my life turmoils and what I had to figure out.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, conclusion-wise, right? Explain the whole ecosystem of your products and how they can get it. What it'll do, what it can do for them, how it can emotionally help them by each product. We're going to start with this.
Okay, so that book, the Stop Doing It All book, was my gateway into my unique approach. So it explains the potent productivity method, what it is, how it can help you in the 3 areas that I found that solo business owners are struggling most with. And that is not really understanding who they are and what they do and why they're good enough to do it, which is identity crisis. Then the other problem is not having enough hours in the day, which is not a time management problem. It's an energy management problem. Time will roll on regardless of you and what you're doing.
So true.
You live at a burnout level for long enough and you will burn out because you run out of energy. So managing that energy is really crucial. And then the third area of the method is, I call it my, oh crap, what now system. Okay.
But it's so true.
Is when a project goes wrong or it becomes exponentially more complicated than you thought it would be. It's got 15 more moving parts than you thought, and each one is so unbelievably difficult that it feels like you don't know where to turn, you don't know what to do next, right? When you have a strategy that allows you to see the thing for what it is and develop that roadmap and get some reassurance that you're on the right path and you can just move forwards, then you start going, what do I do about it? That's when you start moving forwards. Those 3 things are the problems that most solo business owners struggle with, the ones that I've spoken to anyway. And so the book really highlights how the potent productivity method deals with all of those things. The training will help you apply it. So the academy will help you apply it to your own life and bring out all of those things that you're searching for that you can't quite put your finger on. Sometimes you just need somebody to help you pull it out. And that's what the academy does. And especially when you're going through it alongside a whole group of other people who are also feeling the same way. It's really hard to find people who feel exactly like you do. But when you hit on a community of people, it's like, where have you been all my life?
Yeah. I mean, most people feel that way, but they just don't want to expose themselves to it because they don't want to feel like less worthy, maybe. Or that's what it is. Because most people think it, they just won't say it. And that's the part where, if you can tap into what's in somebody else's head without them saying, that's what I call it, that's the gold. Because it comes from experience.
Yeah. So the Stop Doing It All book and the academy are the overview, they're the whole thing, right? Everything else is a piece of that thing, right? So you can dive as deep as you want to into the method when all of the books are written, all the spin-off books are written, because each of them will dive into a specific topic very deeply. But yeah, if you want the whole experience, then the academy is the thing. So we have the store now, so you can go choose what it is that you want to buy. You can buy a shirt, you can buy a mug, you can buy, whatever.
You haven't sent me a hat. I'm always wearing hats.
So it's similar, it's downstairs, but it's similar to this one with a pom-pom on the top.
Oh, not a cap? I thought it was...
No, woolly hat.
Oh, okay.
Because, we're coming into winter now.
If you're going to be watching this on replay and if you're stressed, overwhelmed, looking for some direction, looking for some emotional stability in your business and yourself and your family, this is the way to go, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're not emotionally stable and giving purpose and filling up your cup, giving it to somebody and filling your cup back up, you will get burnt out. Will get burnt out. And that's what the academy is for. That's what potent productivity method is for. This is what, put yourself on the wait list, wait for these emails, watch for some of this training. We'll be busting out some snippets of some workshops, maybe some pop-up workshops to just kind of like dabble. But no, I just wanted to say, as always, it's always a pleasure. And guys, please reach out, please like, share, comment, leave us a comment. Whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or everything else, and click below on one of the icons right there and reach out. Sarah will answer you back, even though she's 8 hours, 12 hours ahead of the United States. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, most of the time.
It's all a bit weird, but there you go.
Sarah, please close it out. Let them know how you can get into you, how we can get more of you.
Yeah, so thank you everybody for watching. I really do appreciate all of you, and I'm more than happy to answer any comments, any questions, anything like that. So please do comment. If you go to sjpbusinessdevelopment.com, you've got all the website. You can see where things are. There's the store on there as well. But if you want to go directly to the Academy waitlist, then you can go to potentproductivityacademy.com/wait.
/wait, guys. It's been a pleasure again, as always. We'll see you guys next week. All right. Leave us a comment, guys. All right. We'll see you. Bye.